Hey everyone, welcome back to English Without Effort. I'm David.
And hi, I'm Alice. So glad you're here with us today.
So Alice, today we're talking about something that literally everyone has to do, but almost nobody feels totally comfortable with.
Ooh, yes, small talk. The art of talking about nothing and everything at the same time.
Exactly. You know, that moment when you're in an elevator with a coworker, or you're waiting in line somewhere, and there's this awkward silence and you feel like you have to say something.
Oh God, yes, the elevator moment. That is so real. I feel like I've said so busy week about 1,000 times in my life.
Right? And the other person always says, yeah, pretty busy. And then you both just stare at the floor numbers.
Yes. Why do we always look at the floor numbers?
I have no idea. It's like the numbers are going to save us or something.
Okay, so for our listeners, small talk is basically light, casual conversation. It's not deep. It's not serious. It's the kind of thing you do when you first meet someone, or when you're in a social situation and you don't really know what to say.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people, especially people learning English, find small talk really hard. Like, harder than actual serious conversations sometimes.
Wait, really? You think it's harder than serious conversations?
I do actually. Because with a serious conversation, you have a topic. You have things to say. But with small talk, you kind of have to just improvise.
Yeah, I see what you mean. It's like there's no script.
Exactly. And when you're speaking in a second language, not having a script is kind of terrifying.
Oh, absolutely. I remember when I was living abroad, I think it was my first week, and someone at a coffee shop just said, "Hey, how's it going?" to me, super casually, and I just froze.
Oh no. What did you say?
I said, "I am fine, thank you. And you?" Like a robot, like a textbook robot. And the poor guy just kind of smiled and walked away.
Oh, we've all been there. That very formal, very stiff response.
It's so cringe when I think about it now. But at the time I thought, well, that's what you say, right?
Right, because that's what we learn in class. How are you? I am fine, thank you. But in real life, nobody actually talks like that.
Nobody. Like if someone says, "How's it going?" the natural answer is more like, "Pretty good, yeah? You?" Or even just, "Not bad, not bad."
Yeah, or can't complain. That's a good one. People say that a lot.
Oh, I love "can't complain." It's so relaxed. Like, things aren't perfect, but I'm not going to make a big deal out of it.
Exactly. And that's kind of the spirit of small talk, right? It's not about being totally honest. It's about being warm and easy to be around.
That's such a good point. Like, if someone says, "How's it going?" they don't really want you to sit down and explain your whole week.
Right. Well, actually, on Monday, I had a really stressful meeting, and then on Tuesday, my coffee maker broke.
Stop. Nobody asked.
Nobody asked. So I think the first big tip for small talk is keep it light. Don't go too deep too fast.
Yes, ease into it. Small talk is like a warm-up, before the real conversation.
I like that, a warm-up. So what are some of the classic small talk topics? Like, what do people actually talk about?
Okay, well, the weather is the big one, the classic, especially in places like the UK, apparently. From what I've heard, British people talk about the weather constantly.
Yeah, I've heard that too. And honestly, I get it. Weather is something everyone experiences. It's shared. Nobody can argue about it.
Well, I mean, you could argue about it. I love this rain. I hate this rain.
Okay, fair point. But it's not going to cause a big fight, you know? It's safe.
Right, it's a safe topic. And that's the key word, safe. Small talk topics are safe. Weather, the weekend, food, sports sometimes, maybe a TV show everyone's watching.
Oh, TV shows are huge right now. Like, if there's a big show that everyone's seen, that's instant small talk material.
Totally. Have you seen that new show on Netflix? Boom. Conversation started.
And then you're off. You're talking. That's the goal.
Exactly. So I think another important thing, and this is something I had to really learn, is asking follow-up questions.
Oh, yes. This is so important. Because small talk can die really fast if you just answer and then go quiet.
Right. It's like a ball. You have to keep throwing it back.
I love that image. The conversation ball. So if someone says, "Nice weather today, right?" You don't just say, "Yeah." You say, "Yeah, it's great. Are you planning to go outside later?"
Exactly. You add something, you bounce it back, and then they have something to respond to.
And honestly, people love talking about themselves. So if you ask a question, most people are happy to answer.
Oh, absolutely. I think the best small talkers are actually the best listeners. They ask questions, they show interest, they react.
Yeah, exactly. Like, "Oh, really? That's cool." Or, "Wait, seriously?" Those little reactions keep the conversation going.
And it makes the other person feel like you're actually paying attention, which is, kind of a big deal.
It really is. Because nobody likes talking to someone who looks bored.
No. The worst is when you're talking and the other person is clearly just waiting for their turn to speak.
Or they're looking at their phone. Ugh.
Oh God, yes. That's the worst. Okay, so asking questions, reacting, keeping it light. What else?
I think one thing that's really useful is having a few go-to phrases ready. Like phrases you know well and can use without thinking.
Oh, that's such good advice. Because when you're nervous, your brain kind of freezes, right? So if you have some phrases ready, it's like you don't have to think, you just use them.
Exactly. So things like, "What do you do for work?" Or, "Have you been here before?" Or, "How do you know so-and-so?" at a party.
Oh, how do you know so-and-so is such a good one at parties. Instant conversation starter.
Right? Because at a party, everyone knows the host. So that's already something you have in common.
Yeah, and then you find out maybe you both know the host from work or from school, and suddenly you have more things to talk about.
It's like finding a thread and just pulling it.
Oh, I like that. Finding a thread. Yeah.
So I want to ask you something, Alice. Do you think small talk is different in different cultures? Like, is it the same everywhere?
Oh, that's such a good question. And no, I don't think it's the same at all. Like, what counts as small talk in one culture might be totally personal in another.
Can you give an example?
Sure. So in some cultures, asking someone, "Are you married?" or "How old are you?" is totally normal, casual small talk. But in a lot of English-speaking countries, especially in the US or UK, that feels kind of personal. Like, you wouldn't ask that right away.
Right, yeah. In American small talk especially, there are kind of unwritten rules about what you ask and when.
Exactly. Like, you don't ask about money or religion or politics. At least, not with someone you just met.
Yeah, politics especially. That can go south really fast.
Yeah. One minute you're talking about the weather, the next minute someone's really upset. Not ideal.
Not ideal at all. So I think the takeaway there is, if you're speaking English in an English-speaking country, stick to the safe topics, at least at first. Get to know the person a little before you go deeper.
Yeah. And honestly, I think that's good advice in any language. Ease into it. Don't go too deep too fast.
Okay, so let's talk about something that I think is really specific to ESL learners. What do you do when you don't understand what someone said in small talk?
Oh, this is so real. Because in small talk, people speak really fast, and they use a lot of slang and filler words.
Yeah, and you can't exactly say, "Excuse me, could you please repeat that and speak more slowly?" without it feeling a little weird.
Well, actually, I think you kind of can. Like, it doesn't have to be that formal. You can just say, "Sorry, what was that?" Or, "Sorry, I missed that."
That's true. Those are really natural. "Sorry, what was that?" is totally normal.
Or even just, "Sorry, I zoned out for a second." That's very human. Everyone zones out sometimes,
That's actually genius. Just blame it on zoning out.
right? And nobody judges you for it. People are generally pretty understanding.
I think that's an important thing to remember. Most people are not judging you as harshly as you think they are.
Oh, absolutely. Like, when you're in a conversation and you make a mistake or you stumble over a word, you feel like everyone noticed. But usually, they didn't.
Yeah, people are mostly thinking about themselves, honestly.
That sounds harsh, but it's kind of true. Everyone's a little worried about how they're coming across. so they're not focused on your mistakes.
Exactly. So hang in there, language learners. People are rooting for you more than you think.
Aw, yes. Hang in there. That's so true.
Okay, I want to share something that happened to me. A kind of funny small talk moment.
Oh, yes, please. I love these stories.
So I was at this work event, like a networking thing, and I was standing by the snack table, which is honestly my favorite place to be at any event.
Same. The snack table is the best spot.
The best spot. And this guy comes up next to me and he says, "So, you come here often?" And I laughed. Because it's such a classic line, right? Usually it's something you say to flirt with someone.
Wait, did he mean it as a joke?
He totally meant it as a joke. He was being funny. And it worked. I laughed, he laughed, and then we just started talking. It was great.
Oh, that's such a good example. A little bit of humor goes such a long way in small talk.
It really does. You don't have to be a comedian, but if you can be a little playful, a little light, people warm up to you so much faster.
And I think that's something that people worry about. Like, what if my joke doesn't land? But honestly, even if it doesn't land perfectly, the effort is still there. People appreciate the effort.
Yeah, exactly. The intention matters. Like, if you're clearly trying to be friendly, people respond to that.
Right. Okay, so we've talked about a lot of things. Let me try to pull it together a little bit.
Yeah, let's do a quick recap.
So, small talk is light, casual conversation. It's a warm-up. You keep it light. You don't go too deep too fast.
Safe topics. Weather, the weekend, food, TV shows. Avoid politics and religion with strangers.
Ask follow-up questions. Throw the conversation ball back. Show that you're listening.
Have a few go-to phrases ready so you don't freeze up. Things like, "What do you do?" or "Have you been here before?"
And if you don't understand something, it's totally okay to say, "Sorry, what was that?" Nobody's gonna judge you.
And hang in there. People are not judging you as harshly as you think. Most people want the conversation to go well too.
Exactly. Small talk is kind of a big deal. Like, it opens doors to real friendships and connections. But it doesn't have to feel scary.
Right, the more you practice, the more natural it gets. And just listening to conversations, like this one, actually helps a lot.
Aw, yes. That's literally what we're here for. English without effort. Just listen, and it starts to sink in.
Okay, so next time, I'm thinking we talk about something related, like how to keep a conversation going when it starts to die. You know, those awkward silences.
Oh, yes. The awkward silence episode. I have so many stories for that one.
I bet you do. Me too, honestly.
It's gonna be great. Okay, that's it for today, everyone. Thanks so much for listening.
Yeah, thanks for hanging out with us. Take it easy, keep practicing, and we'll see you next time.
Bye.